Good evening, my YouTube family and friends. I pray that everyone has had a blessed day today. I pray that the Lord has shown himself mighty in all of your lives, and it's just a blessing to be alive. We're above ground, so it is a blessing. No matter what's going on in our lives, we're still blessed to be alive. And so tonight I wanted to come on here, share another word of encouragement. I'll be coming out of Matthew, the 16th chapter, verses 24 through 26. And it reads, Then Jesus said to his disciples, If anyone would come after me, he must deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever wants to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for me will find it. What good will it be for a man if he gains the whole world, yet forfeits his soul? Or what can a man give in exchange for his soul? And I'll read that last part again. Or what can a man give in exchange for his soul? And again, I've read Matthew, the 16th chapter, verses 24 through 26. And this is the NIV version. So I wanted to come on here and just share something that's been on my heart lately. God is so good to us all, but the name of this, I'm going to title this video, Are You Willing to Fully Surrender to God? So, excuse me, I looked up the word surrender. I'm always curious, we say a lot of words and, we most of them we know the meaning to them, but I just like to go back, especially when it has to do with the Lord. I just want to know about everything. So when I looked up the word surrender, it says to give up completely, to give over to someone or something, to agree to forego, especially in favor of another. So I like that first part of the definition, to give up completely. So it's just basically you're letting it go completely. It's gone away from you. You're surrendering. And so that's what the Lord wants us to do, to fully surrender to him. So, you say, well, what is it that I'm surrendering? So you're surrendering, we can surrender our time. We can surrender our finances, our jobs, our possessions, our way of thinking, family members, whatever is going on with our family, we can surrender that all to God so he can, deal with that, how he needs to deal with it. We can surrender our heart, our mind, and our soul. And so, and I've made my notes here. So we have to fully let go and give it all to Jesus so he can do all that he is able to do in our lives. So that he can get all the honor, the glory, and the praise out of it. We don't get anything. All we need to do is surrender to him, and he's going to get that honor, glory, and praise out of that in any situation. So when I think about fully surrendering, I think about throwing my hands up in the air, above my head, just surrendering. And say, Lord, just have your way, and he's going to do it anyway. But when we surrender to him, we're saying that we acknowledge and accept his perfect plan for our lives. And so surrendering is also completely moving out of God's way. I once didn't understand completely what that meant. I would read different things like on social media where it says you're get out of your own way, you're in God's way. And I kind of knew what it meant, but now I've been through a lot of things lately, so different situations, and the Lord has got me out of all of them. So I understand it now, what it really means, moving out of his way so that he can do great things in our lives and in my life and in your life. So allowing him to do his greatness in our lives. And so wanted to also just give a brief testimony about how recently, I'm not just talking about this. I've actually had to do it, and I'm continuing to do it. So fully surrendering to God is also, a lot of times the Lord will you know, advised us to go on a fast. That's surrendering to him, you know, so he can speak to us, so we can clearly hear his voice. You know, there's so many ways that we can surrender to the Lord. You know, whatever we're saying, Lord, have your way in my life, you know, whatever you want to do. And I'm learning to pray and think that way. You know, I used to try to want to do everything. I wanted to be in control of everything, but our life is not our own. You know, everything that we have is God's. Everything that we're doing is because of him allowing us to do it. You know, we go by day, you know, we get up, we go to work, we get up, we do this, do that, we, you know, but it's all because he's allowing us to do it. It's nothing that we've done so great. It's because of his grace and his mercy. So when we fully sit down, when we just sit down and think about that, he's awesome. We're surrendering to him. So we're saying, Lord, our life is not my life is not your own, and Lord, just have your way. Really have your way. Yes, Lord, to your will and to your way. And so I'm all these different songs that I grew up singing and hearing. I'm living them now. And I thank God for his power in my life, and I thank him for his power in your life as well. But recently, as I was saying, recently, you know, the Lord has been dealing with me in that surrendering area, because I always would, you know, was once the person that in my past I had to know what was going on. You know, I wasn't really in control. I thought I was in control, so I was deceiving myself. But I just always had to know what was going on, you know, even with my bills, you know, I was trying to think a month or two ahead, and oh, I'm gonna do this so I can pay that, or I'm gonna, you know, wanting to be, instead of, you know, surrendering to God and letting him take care of it, because he gives us peace about things that we you know, it's nothing we if it's nothing that we can do about it. Ask the Lord to give us peace about it, and he'll take care of it. But we must fully surrender. We got to lay it down. Like they say in the church, lay it down at the altar. Lay it down at his feet and let it go. You can't pick it back up. You gotta surrender it to him. So whatever it is, if it's your job, if it's finances, whatever it is, surrender it to him and say, Lord, just have your way. Have your way in my life. Have your way in my family's life, in my children's life, in my spouse's life. Whatever you want to do, just take control. And he's going to do it anyway. But as I stated, we're acknowledging and accepting his holy will, and you know, and that's what he wants us to do. But we recently had to go through a situation where, you know, I had to listen to the voice of God. You know, I had to obey, which meant, you know, to leave on one place to go to another place. And, you know, I've had to do that in regards to jobs. I've had to surrender to him. And, you know, I can, you know, feel in my spirit, okay, the Lord's like, okay, it's time to go. You know, you've done what I needed you to do here. And now I'm thinking back in hindsight, I didn't understand that. I was like, why am I, you know, I'll stay here for a little bit and then I'll want to do something else. Well, it's because that assignment is over. You know, the Lord was orchestrating it all, you know. And so I kind of felt like, you know, I was like, well, you know, maybe, well, I guess I just like doing new things. But it was God, you know, helping me in all of that. It wasn't me, it was him. So I'm just thankful for um, all of the life's lessons that he's taught me and he continues to teach me. But I can't, you know, I can't stress that enough. Let's surrender to God. Let's let him have his way in our lives. You know, if you know, if the Lord tells you to pack up and move from one state to another state, if he tells you to give a car away, if he tells you surrender it to him, if you know, whatever, we are surrendering to his holy will, because he has great plans for our lives, and he can't fully do what he is going to do in our lives if we're being disobedient. You know, delayed obedience is still disobedience. You know, when we think about it and when we ponder on it, it's still disobedience. You know, the Lord wants us to do things right away. There's an urgency. If he's telling us to do something, there's urgency in it. So we have to be mindful of that, and we have to, you know, always be where we can discern his voice, you know. And sometimes he'll send people our way to tell us different things. And I'm thankful to him for doing that in my life. People have come to me and said different things, and surrendering was part of that. The Lord said you need to let that go or whatever. So I'm really thankful for that. I thank the Lord for just bringing me such a mighty long way. But going back to surrendering to Him, give it all to Him. If you're worried about, concerned about, because I don't like to use like the word worry. If you're concerned about your finances, your job situation, that boss, acting up on the job or treating you mean, surrender it to God. Just lay it all down on the altar and say, Lord, have your way in this situation. I've had him do it so many times for me. Things have troubled me in my life and on jobs and in family situations. And I just prayed to him and I said, Lord, I can't do nothing else with this. You're going to have to help me. And the Lord comes through every time. So I'm thankful to him for that. And I've had to actually, pray through different situations. I may be around somebody just acting very mean, and I said, Lord, have your way in their life. I surrender it to you. I can't keep on worrying, concerned, being so concerned about this. It's consuming me. I have to surrender it to him. My anything that I'm praying for my children. I'm praying for my family members. Whoever. I'm just asking him to just have his way. We have to come to that place where we say, Lord, there's just nothing else I can do. There's nothing else I can do. I have no power here, only the power that you give me. And I don't, I just want you to do what you do. And when he steps in, he's going to make it all right. He's going to make it all right. So, again, I'm at the place right now in my walk with God where I'm still learning to surrender it all to him. I'm just going to be transparent. He's still working on me in that area. None of us are perfect. We make mistakes and the Lord helps us in them all, but I'm a lot better than what I used to be on surrendering. And so, there was a time that years ago where, I didn't even fast, and the Lord has been working with me on that. I fasted in the past, probably, I'm going to say months than I have in years. So I'm thankful for that. Not bragging, but I'm just saying the Lord will work on us in areas of our lives that we need to be strengthened and we need to, grow with Him. He'll help us, but we have to have the willing heart. And again, we have to surrender it to Him. But I'm learning also to just surrender things, being so concerned about things again that I have no control over. I have to just say, Lord, just, you just step in and take over. So, and again, a lot of times we can get in our own way and we get in His way. So move out of the way and let Him handle everything, and He'll do just that. It's not going to be He's not going to come when you want Him to, but He's going to come right on time. He doesn't work on our time. He works on His perfect timing. So that's just how mighty and awesome and wonderful He is. He knows just when to step in. So we have to also surrender that to Him. That the way of thinking, well, Lord, I want you to come. No, it doesn't work like that. God sees all, He knows all, and He knows so much, way more than we can ever think or know. So we have to just trust Him. So again, I'm learning to myself to fully surrender to Him and to just let Him handle any and all situations that I may ever go through. And I pray that you do the same. I pray that this video blesses someone. Thank you for listening. And please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And may the Lord encamp His holy angels around you and your family. May He shine His holy light upon you and your family as well. My prayer is that you and your family have sweet sleep tonight. May He watch over you and your family always. And again, thank you for listening. And I love you, but remember, God loves you more.